Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. Recently there was a video I did where they were alleging where the governorship candidate of Labour Party in Oyo State, Tawfiq Akinwale, alleged that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, was the one funding or that funded part of Peter Obi's campaign, and that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu passed the money through Professor Pat Utomi. And that in that video I told you that is not likely to be true and that it is false. And that video, perhaps for those who didn't watch it or those who are not aware of it, let me rehearse what happened. A certain Labour Party governorship candidate in Oyo State, Tawfiq Akinwale, appeared on radio station, but that radio station was also videoed. The program was also videoed, where he alleged that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was so smart that he sponsored Peter Obi's campaign to upend PDP's Atiku Abubakar, and that was why Pat Utomi stepped down for Peter Obi, that it was Tinubu that told Pat Utomi to step down for Peter Obi when Peter Obi left People's Democratic Party. But I found at that time I did say that it's not likely to be true. It can't be true because I know that Pat Utomi is a man of integrity, and he will not be part of that kind of venture because, one, he is somebody that is passionate about having a third force to challenge the traditional parties, the PDP and the APC. So he's not going to be part of that kind of adventure. And besides, I know that Peter Obi also has a deep pocket. He can fund his own campaign. He was able to buy PDP form on his own and forgo it. I think that PDP form was sold at the rate of 50 million naira or so. Peter Obi paid for it and acquired it. He didn't do the kind of rubbish other candidates were doing, saying that people contributed money for them. That were, I think there are some people that used to do like that. They will say the masses contributed money and bought 100 million naira ticket form for them. Peter Obi paid for his form and bought it. And I was among those who was anxious for Peter Obi to throw in his heart into the ring for the 2023 presidential election. I was one of those who were worried when he was prevaricating before declaring his intention to contest for president. So I was excited when he picked the form. And reading the atmosphere, Peter Obi realized that he cannot be able to participate in kind of bazaar they want to do at the PDP, whereby the ticket was to go to the highest bidder. And he wasn't ready to go and compete dollar for dollar with people like Nyesom Wike, governor of Rivers State, or Atiku Abubakar, who is known to have a very deep pocket. So that was certain. So Peter Obi, having seen that these people are not ready for change, the kind of change he wanted to do, he left. And Pat Utomi graciously stepped down for him. Now this man, this Tawfiq, is alleging, it's all part of the propaganda to demonize Peter Obi since he went to court. Now, Peter Obi went to Labour Party, and Pat Utomi graciously stepped down for him, and he emerged the candidate of the party. Of course, Pat Utomi is also a reader of political atmosphere. He knows that Peter Obi carries a lot of weight, and that if he stick on to the ticket of Labour Party, of course, he knows that Labour Party would not have achieved the kind of milestone he did in this election, despite the apparent rigging by the All Progressive Congress, assisted by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Okay, now this issue came up, and the thing began to fly all over the place. That Asiwaju is so smart that he read the atmosphere, he upended Atiku Abubakar by sponsoring Peter Obi. And this was a lie. This lie had been flying for a long time. Even people like Reno Mokre used to make reference to the fact that Peter Obi is there to spoil Atiku's market, that Peter Obi is there, that they are using Peter Obi to spoil market for Atiku Abubakar. But at the end of the day, but for the rigging, Peter Obi won the election hands down. That's a basic fact. If not for the rigging of the election, Peter Obi won. And many people can attest to that. Of course, it wasn't a surprise, because the opinion polls before the election, all of it, except the one sponsored by the APC and the PDP, in which their candidates emerged as top candidates, Peter Obi won in all the opinion polls that was done before the election by independent organizations, Bloomberg, CNN, BBC, what have you. But the one that Tinubu was said to have to stand a chance of winning was the one that was conducted by his newspaper, the Nation newspaper. And then Atiku Abubakar, the one that projected his winning, was the one conducted by his political friend, This Day, owned by Ndoko Abaiban, who is a friend of Atiku Abubakar. That's a basic fact. So, but for the manipulation, because when all those opinion polls were coming out, they saw it clearly that Peter Obi is having mal, even though when they come out in the open, they will claim that Peter Obi has no structure. But in their inner circle, they were plotting how to rig the election, and eventually the APC out to rig the PDP, and they announced the result that is now being contested in court. Okay, now why this video is important is because it is important because Pat Utomi needs to clear his name, because already all these APC people are sharing this information. Okay, this information, they are sharing it everywhere to show that ab initio, that it was part of their strategy to upend Atiku Abubakar using Peter Obi. But it's not true. Peter Obi was committed to becoming president of Nigeria. He was committed. He put his money down. The only person that can convince me that Peter Obi was not committed is anybody who can come and show me that it was it was Tinubu that gave him money to purchase the PDP form. Then I will believe you. But as long as Peter Obi took his time and went to purchase the ticket of PDP, he was ready. And let me also repeat it here. Peter Obi was the only Southeasterner who wanted to be president in PDP that campaigned in the 36 states of the Federation, and plus FCT. None other one. None of all these Southeast pretenders to presidency. None of them did that under the PDP. He was the only one that was serious. He campaigned all over the place. It was one of those campaigns that governor of Taraba State, Isha, revealed that Obiano told him that the airport he built, it was from the savings that Peter Obi saved, that he he took money and built the airport. So Peter Obi went everywhere. He was going with Oyo State everywhere. Oyo State stepped down for him and became his campaign DG right from PDP. Before he now see that there is no hope in PDP for anything good for Nigeria, he left. Now, Pat Utomi himself has reacted formally because when I did the former video, I said that I'm sure that Pat Utomi is not going to be part of any rubbish of working for Tinubu or presenting himself, making himself available to be used by Tinubu for Peter Obi. He's bigger than that. And his response, he has spoken about it. He has spoken about it. And he was very emphatic in his denial. And I will just quote him verbatim what he said on his Twitter handle, because he was in the United States when this thing began to trend. When this thing began to trend, he was in the United States. But now he has gotten wind of what happened and he has responded. I don't know whether this is response is from the United States or he's back in Nigeria. And I will quote him verbatim, and then I will look at why he has to do this. He has to come clean, so to say, so that people will stop maligning his name. Because what they are trying to do was that they want to also show that there is no harmony, peace and harmony within the obedient movement or the Obidati ticket, because Obidati ticket was strongly supported by Pat Utomi. And they are strong. They have confidence that the court can do justice. So let us be confident with them. But let's look at what Pat Utomi said, his own side of the story. Now, he said, I'm quoting him now, I'm quoting Pat Utomi. So from what I say now onward, it will be a quote directly from Pat Utomi, from what he wrote in his Twitter handle. Then we now look at the import of all these things he has said. Now let us go ahead. I'm quoting him, say, some fellow pulling up a 9-year-old video from an alien visit claim the law of conduit of money through me to Peter Obi to upend Atiku. First, I have had no direct or indirect contact with Bola Tinubu in 4 years. He said he has not had any contact with Bola Tinubu in 4 years. Only material transfer from Bola Tinubu to me in 25 years we have known is $2,000 for MIT event, that's Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States. It's only material transfer from to me in 25 years we have known is $2,000 for MIT event. In truth, going forward, he said, in truth, I have been much closer to Wazir Atiku, who I first met in 1983 and wrote the feasibility for his farm a year later. Okay, what he's saying, he said that he is closer to Atiku Abubakar, even more than Tinubu. That he has known Atiku Abubakar since 1983. Continuing, he said, I have served on the board of his university. Of course, you know Atiku Abubakar's university, American University in Oyo State. He said only a warped or misinformed mind will invent such misinformation. As for funding Peter Obi, I cannot but be amazed at this disinformation. The outpouring of resources of citizens in support groups and Peter Obi's prudent draw on his own purse was so humbling, I even turned to ODS to fund my own activities in support. That's in support of the campaign. In support of the campaign, in effort to save Nigeria. In the effort to save Nigeria. I say he has to even use his own fund and raise fund to support the campaign. He said, I entered the 2023 campaigns to build on third force, to break the race to the bottom, and press a reset knob in Nigeria's politics. That's what he wanted to, the third force, to, to press a reset in Nigeria's politics. Because already, for years, many people have been talking about the third force. There's a need for a third force. There's a need for a third force. Well, it materialized in 2023. He said that I stayed elevated with issues and denounced calumnies, yet some have waged disinformation and calumny campaign aimed at me. I will continue to refuse to descend to their level. Truly, if any flow from Bola Tinubu came to me, I would quickly withdraw money I spent at his urging in 2007, paid to international PR agency for an Orange Revolution type campaign to stop third term, but not refunded. Here he was talking about the fact that even Tinubu is owing him money because Tinubu told him to hire international public relation agency to stop Olusegun Obasanjo's third term. Of course, he didn't mention Obasanjo, but it was Obasanjo that wanted to do third term in 2007. So Tinubu hired him or directed him to get a PR agency, an international PR agency that will raise awareness around the world that look at what Obasanjo wanted to do so that he could be stopped. Okay? And he was saying that after he spent his money and hired this international PR agency, his money was not given back to him. So he said that if Tinubu had ever sent him any money for our transmission for Peter Obi's campaign, he would have forced to remove that money that was not paid back to him. He was not refunded in 2007. And he said that the details of this affairs, this is getting international PR agency for Tinubu to stop third term in 2007. Details of it are contained in his book that he published 4 years ago. And he now added that it would have helped my cash flow. So if Tinubu had given him something like that, he would have helped his cash flow. He would just collect the money owed him by Tinubu, which he was not repaid back. And I'm sure that time Tinubu was governor of Lagos State in 2007 when they were trying to stop Obasanjo from getting third term. But Tinubu was not the only one who was supporting groups and everything else to ensure that Obasanjo doesn't get third term. Now, continuing, Pat said, he said last week, he said, word of ironies. Last week, I participated in a program of the Deliberate Democracy Lab of Stanford University Center of Democracy, Development and rule of law on disinformation in social media. Okay? Unaware, I was ongoing victim of disinformation in Nigeria. Now, Pat Utomi is saying here, like, look, I even participated in a program at Stanford University where the issue of democracy and disinformation was the subject matter. And he didn't know that back home, he was the subject of such disinformation. Now, what do you take out of this? The takeaway from me is first, as I said earlier in the video I did, in response to that allegation when I saw it in the papers, was that it is not true. This part of the propaganda of APC and those they recruited from Labour Party just to cause confusion in the party. Because if are you seeing the correlation between our Papa, Lamidi Papa, who is challenging the leadership of Labour Party, saying he's the chairman? He's also from Oyo State, where this Tawfiq comes from and contested for governor. He's from there. So I don't know whether this is a coordinated demonization attack on Peter Obi and to break the ranks, the unity in Peter Obi and his people. Those who are solidly behind him, those who are at the center of propelling his campaign before the election and even after the election, to cause problem within the rank and file of the Labour Party. I think that's basically what they are trying to do, to break the spirit of Labour Party supporters, their high-ranking members, to be suspicious of each other, not to trust each other, and all this. But I don't think that all those things they are doing will work for them, because someone like Pat Utomi is very committed to a new Nigeria. He has been an apostle of new Nigeria for a very long time. He had been among those who have been hammering on change. He has written a lot of books on how to turn this country around. So he cannot be part of anybody's game or working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Far from it. In fact, he himself is a victim of the kind of Nigeria that people like Tinubu hijacked. If you know where Pat Utomi was in 1982 and where Tinubu was then, you can imagine in the initial report, they were calling Pat Utomi that he's the political son of Asiwaju. Because Asiwaju, I don't know what he was doing in 1982, but at that time, Pat Utomi was already an advisor to President Shehu Shagari. So how could he be described as a political son of Asiwaju, whose Asiwaju can direct to do things for him? Come on, I know it's fake news. It's fake news. But the important thing is that Pat has cleared his name. There is no ambiguity in his response. It is clear. He didn't collect any dime from Tinubu. In any case, at the time that Peter Obi left PDP and moved to Labour Party before the primaries, even Tinubu was not sure he's going to get the ticket of APC, not to talk of thinking about how to help another person to get a ticket. He was not sure. He has said it himself. You can go and watch speeches by Tinubu where he said it. He wasn't sure that he's going to get the ticket. That was why you see how he was very combative. A few days before the election, you can see him during the fuel and naira scarcity. Tinubu was shouting that they don't want to conduct the election. They don't want the election to hold. That they are trying to sabotage the election. He said it in campaign in Abeokuta and several other places. So that was not a top statement of a man who was sure of himself. Because you have to be sure of yourself of getting the ticket, because before you begin to worry about who gets the ticket, the People's Democratic Party, and then plot how to stop him. Because at that time, he was not sure who was going to get the ticket of PDP and even his own ticket. He wasn't sure. He wasn't sure. Tinubu was not sure. That was why they were all beating about the bush, laying accusation against the presidency. You see him during that campaign, laying accusation against the president that they don't want to hold the election. Because if he was sure of himself, he wouldn't be complaining about that they don't want to hold the election, or that the naira scarcity and naira scarcity and the fuel scarcity was targeted at him. He wasn't sure. He wasn't sure of the APC ticket either. It was when he finally got it that he began to know what to do. Because before the primaries, I can tell you for free, Tinubu was not sure that he's going to get the ticket. And there were a lot of things stacked against him. But now everybody is feeling cool with him in the APC, pretending as if they were happy with him. But we know the battle he had to fight to get the APC ticket, and the kind of things he did, how he demonized Vice President Yemi Osibanjo and literally blackmailed him as a religious bigot who hate Christians and all that. There's so many things they did. If he was so sure of himself, he wouldn't have to call into question Yemi Osibanjo's tolerance as a Christian. Because if you doubt what I'm telling you, you can go and Google it. You can just Google it. Yemi Osibanjo denies not employing Muslims in his office. Because those are issues they threw up so that Muslims will hate Yemi Osibanjo, so that he doesn't get the tickets. And their target was northern Muslims. Of course, eventually it works for them. But the fact of the matter remains that Pat Utomi was not part of any scheme to help Tinubu to win. He was not part of any scheme to undermine Peter Obi. He participated in Peter Obi's campaign and in Peter Obi's revolution, if you like, or tsunami that overtook Nigeria with his full chest. With his full chest. And he has also cleared the air about the funding of Peter Obi. He said there were a lot of people who are support groups, who are generous with funds, who are ready, who are desirous of doing Nigeria, who brought out their money. They didn't have to rely on any funding from somebody like Tinubu or anyone else. So that's basically clear. Peter Obi ran one of the cleanest campaign, and Pat Utomi confirmed it here too. The cleanest campaign anyone had ever run. He was the only one that ran clean campaign, said, do not vote for me because I'm a Christian. Do not vote for me because I'm from Southeast. Do not vote for me for any other thing. Vote for me because I have the capacity, I have the competencies to turn this country around. That was all it was all about. And Pat Utomi was a big part of that campaign. It is not yet over until it is over, until the Supreme Court rules. Keep hope alive. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.